A warm welcome to Thursday night's edition of Primetime News with me, Michael Madimba. In our lead story tonight, South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma, who today began a 15-month sentence for contempt, will be eligible to be released on parole in just under 4 months, the authorities have said.
Under the country's correctional regulations, the former president will be eligible for parole once a quarter of his sentence have been served, Justice Minister Roland Ramula told reporters. Zuma will be afforded dignity throughout his term of incarceration, he said, speaking in front of Escort Prison in KwaZulu-Natal province. Zuma handed himself in overnight to the police to begin serving the sentence at the jail, which is located in a small farming town. The sentence was handed down by the Constitutional Court on the 29th of June after Zuma refused an order to appear before anti-graft investigators. Zuma, who is in good spirits, will be placed in isolation for the first 14 days in jail in line with the COVID-19 protocols, the minister said, adding that he would not receive any special treatment.
President Dr. Hage Geingob on Wednesday extended a message of condolence to the family of the late Chief Herbert Dichabue of the Bakgalagadi Namibia Traditional Authority, who died on Tuesday.
In his message of condolences shared with the media, Geingob said the passing of Dichabue is saddening for Namibia and in particular the community of Bakgalagadi and Bakgalagadi Namibia Traditional Authority who have lost a good leader. He will be remembered for his stellar leadership and commitment to the development of the community of the Bakgalagadi and the Namibian nation, said the president. I extend my condolences to the bereaved family, the entire Bakgalagadi Namibia Traditional Authority. May God grant you comfort during this difficult time of grief. May the soul of the late Chief Dichabue rest in peace, said Geingob. Reporting for Number TV, Lila Batiri.
Xara's Governor Aleta Frederick on Wednesday launched a COVID-19 vaccination awareness campaign at Keetmanshoop. The campaign will run for the month of July, and participants include police and health officials, as well as the governor's youth task force members.
In an interview with the media on Wednesday, Frederick said the campaign aims to raise awareness on the importance of vaccinating against COVID-19, as the region has thus far only managed to vaccinate 5% of its inhabitants. The governor said the number of people vaccinated is low, and it is mainly due to false and misinformation on social media on the vaccination, and that is why they decided to do the campaign. The spokesperson of the governor's youth task force, Vincent Peters, said the campaign will concentrate on the elderly and young people. He said, we are here to decampaign the false information surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine, and as young people, we are meeting the government halfway by joining the governor's office and playing our part in the fight.
Katutura Central Constituency Councillor Vedemba Rodman Kachaimo said government should stop giving state and official funerals in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, as they do not stick to 10 people per gathering as per COVID-19 regulations.
Katutura Central Constituency Councillor Vedemba Rodman Kachaimo made the remarks on Wednesday while receiving donations of face masks and sanitizers from Umushalo Fishing, as well as paints from Pupkavet's Foundation at the constituency's office premises. He said he is nonplussed by the thoughtless government that even when people are dying in big numbers due to lack of oxygen and inadequate health facilities and health equipment, it is busy dishing out state and official funerals, which in turn spread more virus and in most cases exceed the number of people allowed to enter. He added that while the country is hit by the Delta variant, Namibians should have the spirit of humanity and empathy to help those in need the most and encourage each other to be responsible citizens by getting vaccinated in order to go back to normalcy.
Stand by for your top roundup. Moving on to all things business and economics. The National Fishing Corporation of Namibia, Fishko, will re-advertise the position of Chief Executive Officer after all 63 applicants who applied for the position failed to meet the requirements.
A statement issued on Wednesday by the Ministry of Public Enterprises said the position became vacant in 2019 when former CEO Mike Ngipunya was arrested for his alleged involvement in the fish rot corruption scandal, and certain legal complications needed to be overcome before the position was finally advertised in November 2020. 63 applicants responded to the advertisement, of which 10 candidates were shortlisted and requested to do a psychometric test by an independent industrial psychologist. 5 fell out, and the other 5 candidates were interviewed on 23 April 2021, after which a full report was submitted to the Minister of Public Enterprises on 5 May 2021 for recommendations. The statement read, following the due diligence and considering the crucial importance of filling the position with a person that presents the most preferred profile, the Ministry of Public Enterprises and the Fishko Board consulted on 2nd July 2021 and concluded that none of the candidates presented such, and it would be in the best interest of the company to re-advertise the position. It further said interim Fishko CEO Ruth Herunga, who was appointed on April 2021, did not apply for the position during the first round and will not be eligible to do so during the second round due to the fact that she is a sitting board member of the company. Josephine Simeon, Nampa News.
In a bid to improve efficiency in its procurement systems and avoid over-expenditure which some government agencies have been accustomed to, Treasury has decided to phase out all handwritten or manual invoices.
This was made known through a public notice on Tuesday issued by the Ministry of Finance spokesperson Tunatini Shidudu. To all suppliers of goods and services to the government of the Republic of Namibia, kindly be informed that government has discontinued the issuance of manual purchase orders to suppliers with effect from July 2020, reads the notice. Shidudu on Wednesday told Nampa the ministry has noted that certain commitments are made outside the integrated financial management system by government institutions by way of manual purchase orders when the allocated funds get depleted, leading to unauthorized expenditure and numerous requests to Treasury for reallocating of appropriated funds to unbudgeted items. To avoid this, the issuance of manual or handwritten purchase orders is discontinued, and as such those who render services to the government are advised to ensure the purchase orders that they get from any government office is not manual or handwritten and should be printed from the system, he said. The integrated financial management system was designed and adopted by the government to control and account for all government expenditures by following commitments to be made directly on the system against allocated funds.
It's time for the Business and Economics Roundup. In our sports news tonight, we commence with rugby news. Namibia bounced back from their disappointing loss to Ivory Coast by beating Madagascar 52-10 in the second match of the Rugby Africa Cup match Pool A qualifiers on Wednesday at the Alassane Ouattara High School Stadium in Grand Bassam.
In a match monitored online by Nampa, Namibia scored 7 tries to earn a bonus point and scored 3 penalties to convincingly win the match. Namibia lost 24-13 to host Ivory Coast at the same venue on Saturday to put their world qualification at risk. Namibia scored their first point in the 10th minute through a penalty by Hilarious Keesting to lead by 3-0. 3 minutes later, Adrian Boyson scored the first try of the match, which Keesting failed to convert, leaving Namibia leading by 8-0. Rian van Zyl joined the try-scoring party and Keesting converted to give Namibia a 15-0 lead before Johan Trom added his name to the try-score sheet. Keesting converted to give Namibia 22-0 before he added a penalty conversion to give Namibia a 25-0 lead at halftime. After the break, Namibia scored 3 more tries, of which 2 were converted and a penalty. Madagascar scored 1 converted try and a penalty to register 10 points in the match that Namibia dominated from the start to finish. Speaking after the game, coach Alista Kutsia said they had taken the match seriously as they are looking to improve their playing after their second match after 18 months with a young squad. The best 2 teams of each of the 4 pools qualify for the Rugby Africa Cup 2022 Top 8, which will serve as a final Rugby World Cup 2023 qualification event.
Secretary General of the Namibia Paralympic Committee, Michael Hamukwaya, has said Namibia being allocated 3 slots for the upcoming Paralympic Games should be blamed on lack of performances during the Paralympic qualification phase.
Hamukwaya, who is also a coach, told Nampa in an interview on Tuesday that during the 2016 Paralympic Games in Brazil, Team Namibia took 7 athletes, and with 3 slots this year, it has moved steps backward. Performance is important and we should always follow the International Olympic Committee pathway. The International Olympic Committee has 11 Grand Prix events and our athletes should at least participate in 2 or 3 of them every year, he said. The Secretary General added that athletes need to move a gear up if they are to earn the country more slots at the Paralympic Games. Hamukwaya further acknowledged that while money is needed to compete at these major events, the Namibian government as well as the current support from corporate Namibia should have been enough to expose these athletes, and as such, athletes have no excuse to justify underperformance. Nambala Ananya Shikongo and Lahia Ishitile are 3 athletes that will represent the country at the rescheduled 2020 Paralympic Games in Tokyo, Japan, in the T13 and T11 categories during the month of August and September. On Wednesday, Minister of Sports, Youth and National Services Ignacio Guerrero said government is cutting down on all costs to ensure that the little funds that they have are directed to athlete needs.
Your sports roundup is up next. That's all the news we had for you this evening. Well, thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up and share. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings, locally and globally. Catch us tomorrow for your dose of primetime news. From myself and the entire production team, it's good night.